Welcome to Beletni Media. Today we're having a very special guest with us here, Engineer Borvin Marwel, a graduate of Khartoum University, College of Engineering, and he did his higher educations also in University of Geneva. And he was the Director General of Downstream, and as well as the former president of Nile Drilling, and the current MD of Nile Petroleum. First thing, good afternoon as well.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited today to have this special guest. My name is Paul Green. I'm the Managing Director of Nile Petroleum. I work as a field-based manager in a Greater Pioneer Operating Company in South Sudan 2012 until 2013. And I work also as a manager of Downstream in the same company, 2013 until 2015. And 2015, I became Director General of Downstream in Nile Petroleum Corporation, and also given a task to establish a company, a drilling company in South Sudan. It's called Nile Drilling and Services. And currently, I had been appointed last year as the MD of Nile Petroleum Corporation.
It's a really great pleasure to have an interview with you. To begin with, after months as the MD of Nile Pet and as an experienced engineer, what should South Sudanese be proud of, regards of your services? Perhaps, like, what should they expect of you?
Well, the good thing that people of South Sudan should expect from a national company, which is the commercial arm of the government, is the services. The national company that is working with the expatriates. The companies come from different countries like China, like Malaysia, and India, who are working in South Sudan. So in my term, actually, people will be expecting that in 5 years' time to come, the reform agenda that I raised it to the board of directors last year, that is going to at least have a company that is going to be a credible company, a company that has a balance sheet, at least to compete with other companies. And to do that, that means we must have to get young engineers are well trained. The human capitals of South Sudanese should be efficient to work alone and take over the oil companies in some years to come. So within 5 years, we will be expecting taking over of the existing three blocks. Should thing goes as it's planned, then people of South Sudan will be expecting that their national company will be treated as like Petronas, like CNPC, like British Petroleum, like Total, and all this. This expectation that people should put into Nile Petroleum if it is well guided and managed.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the achievements that you've done so far as part of the reforms in the institution?
Well, within 6 months' time when I came to the office, first of all, I put the setup of the existing projects that were actually under Nile Petroleum Corporation. One of them, it is the completion of part of rig service that I started. Now, one of the big achievements is that rigs, 2 service rigs are now in operation. And for the first time, South Sudan become an operator working on the rigs alone. It is a milestone that we believe that some of technicians from South Sudan will be venturing operating those machines by themselves, and with care that the production will not go down, and if they succeed to work very well, and this is the starting point actually. This is one of the agenda, one of the activities that has reached a stage that we are competent now, and we are getting cash flow from it. And this is what we said, NilePet should be making money, not losses, because this is a commercial wing of the government. And also create job for young engineers. The other activities is refinery. The refinery was actually started 10 years ago, and because of disruption of war and civil war, things didn't work very well. During my time, I tried to separate bring two companies, Nile Petroleum and Sapnet company, bring them together, and I established the management to oversee the progress of the refinery, and I inject equity to this refinery, say that we believe that without refinery, then South Sudan will be suffering, because we had crude oil, and we export the crude oil, bring that hard currency to the economy of South Sudan. But during the COVID-19, there are issues related with the even export, lockdown, whatever. That is why I thought exactly to make sure that we have to refine some of the crude that is available in South Sudan. And we managed to bring into attention to the people of South Sudan that the refinery at the moment is ready, can refine almost like maybe in a month, we can reach 6 million liters in a month. That means we can reach like 120,000 liters just a day. So when you multiply 120,000 a day within a month, it will make you 6 million liters. This 6 million liters, in equivalent to amount of money, is almost $6 million. And if you are losing, sending all these $6 million outside, while you have here, what is the reason? I believe that's why we work with my team, and we managed to bring to alive for the refinery. The refinery now is just a matter of time to be launched, and we will produce two products. One is going to be heavy fuel oil that is going for power generation, and it can be used here in Azra power plants to generate electricity, and that will reduce the megawatt per day. For example, the people are using the car electricity, and the part is diesel. That diesel can cover 30% from what we imported from abroad. So when we cover 30% and we put some little money to bring fuel to Juba, and then the other part of the country, northern part of the country, we will be able to cover 30% of that refined products. And the refinery also, it has been set for starting as from 3,500 barrels a day to be refined, and can exceed to 10,000 barrels a day. So we have now completed 3 blocks. Block 1 is 2,000 barrels. Other blocks is ready now to refine more product once there is market. So, but we have to start small.
Okay. Last month there was a launching of the rig services for Nile Drilling, as you mentioned earlier. So as a former president of Nile Drilling and now the MD of NilePet, do you think the rig services of Nile Drilling will bring to the table? Like, what exactly will it bring to the table for NilePet?
Actually, Nile Drilling has started to launch the first service rig last month, and the other service rig will come into operation based on the commitment, the contract between DAR and Nile Drilling. As the MD of NilePet, Nile Drilling is the backbone of the Nile Petroleum Corporation. We are working very closely to support this Nile drilling, at least to cover the workover, and then we work to get more drilling rigs for the operation in Block 37, and it become something very significant to the people of South Sudan, because it is the first time now Nile drilling to compete with a subsidiary of CNPC, which is they were dominating for 10 years, working on drilling and workover. So now we have taken portion, less from the whole thing, and if you look into this, you can see the budget of operation departments in Depot is almost like $600 million a year. These 600 million US years, there is no company that is competing with this amount. It is only a Chinese company who are competing on this amount. That means if we are going to take 100 million US dollars and we leave 500 million US to China, and in the long run we will be able to make it, we will be able to make it to train our people and be able to work alone and generate money. So the rig that is launched, it actually covered the part of program of taking over. It's not because we want to get more money, but we want to train our people, and also in some 2 months, 2 years, we will be able to operate all these areas of drilling and associated drilling services.
Okay, you've brought up a very important point. I'm sure that had everybody wondering. There are reports indicating that you received 10 million USD from the Chinese, and you used it on your own selfish purpose. Like, what do you have to say about that?
Well, what I think is not accurate. Is 10 million is not simple money. It's a huge of money. When you receive 10 million from outside, like from Chinese, you make sure at what reason that you are taking this money. You have to ask yourself why the Chinese are giving this money to a person, or it is managing director of Nile Pet. Managing director of Nile Pet is a partner within CNPC. We had only 8% of the production, and Chinese, they have put 1%. These are major shareholders. The partners, they have put 1%. And if they are giving me this money, for which reason, for example, you can justify that there is no reason that this is it is a misleading information, I believe. We as Nile Petroleum, we are shareholders in the consortium. And all what we have to do, we had to work together as partners. But if there are some big issues, decision, sometimes the biggest shareholder, they used to decide, even they undermine your, because you don't have that impact.
Yeah.
See? But of course, we as representing the government, we must have to make sure that we stand our firm, taking what we can do, and based on technical part of it. Sometimes when we don't have technical, we can say, okay, until we train our people, we will take over. That is why we are now planning this reform agenda to do the training to young engineers. We had some people in South Africa at the moment, and we had some last year in ADNOC, in UAE. The reason we want to reach the standard of Chinese, so you will be able to work with Chinese with that in that capability, and for us to do that, you need to work with the partners together, say that you acquire knowledge, and also they have to inject, for example, their business in South Sudan. That is the interest of that.
Okay, we'll take a short break and we'll be back again. We're back again from a short break. Of course, every institution faces challenges. Could you mention some you think are the barrier developments, and how do you intend to overcome such challenges?
The Nile Petroleum has a national company, and it has been actually operating for 10 years. There has a lot of challenges. The challenges might be the only sector that is now viable, and then there is a very challenging situation in which each and everybody want to join. The other challenges also is the assumption. You know, people, when they assume too much that NILPAT might have money, and then you will see people will be in position to see like NILPAT is the only company people can rely on it. But NILPAT, actually, we can overcome all these challenges by utilize the oil industry to bring back into life, because the intention of developing oil sector is that 98% comes from oil sector that constitute the budget of the country. And in that case, after the war, things were not to that extent, but at the moment there is stability, there is peace agreement, and people are going for implementation. So the best way to overcome all these challenges is that we make utilization of the production. We increase the production. When we increase the production, we'll create job to a lot of people. Like refinery was not there when you refined. We had to have refinery. You will bring into market the new products. When you bring new products, you may create job to people. You will have cash flow coming to. That means some of the destination will be reachable. For example, 10 states were not actually reachable. We were operating during the war in Juba and Malakal, maybe Reng, maybe Wow. But now, due to the peace agreement, 10 states will be operational. So we'll extend the refined product to 10 states. We also have heavy fuel oil is going to come out. It will go to 10 states. And then we will be able to operate the retails on the 10 states. So you can see that a lot of opportunities will be coming up. In this case, we need a support from the leadership, political support to Nile Petroleum, so that we overcome. That means we must have to inject equity to NILPAT, like we get cargo, for example, to supply some of the fuel that is coming from Uganda, it's come from Nairobi, and the northern part can be supplied by 30% of the refined products. This will reduce even the prices based on transportation of the refined products. So it will create a little bit other sectors to come up. Once agriculture comes up, the other industry comes up, then you will see the people will not be relying on NILPAT, will come back again. Even the bank will have some reserve. When there is a reserve, the dollars will go down, and immediately each and everybody want to get business, whatever, will be able to continue.
Yes.